Look at your hands. Look at them very closely. Everything you have built, every dream you have bled for, every single late night you spent praying for a life-changing breakthrough, can be completely obliterated in a single, careless second. Do you know how? Not by an enemy attacking you with a sharp blade, not by a ruthless competitor with unlimited money, but by the loud, reckless, undisciplined opening of your own mouth. The bitter, unforgiving truth that nobody wants to tell you to your face is this: the world does not want you to win. People do not sit around cheering for your victory. They sit quietly in the shadows, smiling straight to your face, while calculating your exact downfall behind your back. Every single time you blabber about your vision, every time you post your next big move on social media, every time you expose your open heart to people who have not earned the right to see it, you are handing your worst enemies the exact blueprint they need to destroy you. True power does not scream for attention. True strength does not beg the world for validation. Power operates in total, absolute, terrifying silence. It plans 3, 4, 5 moves ahead while everyone else in the room is busy playing a foolish, low-stakes game of checkers. Look around the room right now. Observe the people who never shut up. The ones who feel an overwhelming need to fill every single second of silence with meaningless noise. What do you actually see when you look at them? You don't see authority. You see raw desperation. Excessive speech is nothing more than a loud, embarrassing confession of deep-seated insecurity. If a person cannot govern their own tongue, they cannot govern their emotions, their finances, their relationships, or their life. When you constantly over-explain yourself to people, you strip away your own dignity. You make yourself transparent, predictable, easy to manipulate, and effortlessly easy to replace. But when you master the discipline of silence, when you treat your words like precious gold, your rare speech becomes like sudden thunder. Silence makes the entire room lean in. Silence forces kings to stop and listen. You were lied to from the time you were a small child. They filled your young mind with a sweet, comforting fairy tale. They told you, just be yourself. Go out into the world and show everyone your true, unfiltered heart. What a devastating, dangerous lie! Human nature is not built on total, naive honesty. Human nature is built on strategic survival. Think back to when you were 3 or 4 years old. You already knew how to act sweet, innocent, and completely helpless just to manipulate your parents into giving you a piece of candy. You adjusted your personality for your parents, then you shifted it for your teachers, and then you changed it again for your friends. Being an actor is hardwired directly into your human DNA. If you walked into your job today and spoke every single unfiltered, raw thought currently passing through your head, you would ruin your entire career before lunch. Social dominance is not about fake, uncalculated honesty. It is about absolute, conscious mastery over your external persona. Life is a massive high-stakes theatrical stage, and your personality is a strategic weapon. Use it with extreme precision, or prepare to be crushed by someone who does. Now, listen to me very carefully right here, because this exact trap is where 90% of highly ambitious people ruin their own lives. The exact talent, the exact strength, the exact ruthless aggression that brought you to your very first taste of success. Will you if you refuse to adapt and evolve? You foolishly think that because your sharp mouth, your intense aggression, or your eagerness to please people got you to the top, those same tactics will keep you there forever. The world changes in a heartbeat. The economy shifts overnight. Your rivals are constantly learning, adapting, and upgrading their weapons. And while the ground is actively moving beneath your feet, you are standing there like a rigid, stubborn statue, desperately holding onto an outdated playbook. Power is not a heavy iron shield that cracks and shatters under intense pressure. Power is like water. It flows, it bends, it smoothly fills the exact shape of whatever vessel it enters. And when the timing is right, it unleashes an unstoppable wave that drowns everything standing in its path. If you cannot change your form, if you cannot adapt your strategy to the changing times, the world will leave you behind broken, defeated, and completely forgotten. Why do you think the public eventually gets tired of their favorite icons? Why do massive audiences suddenly abandon creators and leaders they used to worship? Because human beings are easily bored, highly spoiled children. If you are always present, if you are always posting, if you are always talking, if you are always available, your perceived value drops straight to zero. Constant familiarity breeds deep contempt. if you want to build an intense, unforgettable aura of obsession. You must master the high-level art of vanishing. Step completely out of the spotlight. Disappear for 30 days. Stop feeding their endless, insatiable hunger for your attention. Stop broadcasting every detail of your daily life to the public. When you deliberately pull back, you create a terrifying psychological void. People instantly stop taking you for granted. They start sweating in the dark, wondering, where did they go? What are they building behind closed doors? What massive move are they planning next? Look at the most powerful minds in human history. They understood the deadly, beautiful dance between presence and absence. Sometimes you must present yourself like an absolute storm, and sometimes you must vanish completely like a ghost in the night. Now, let us step into the single most dangerous arena on this planet, dealing with the fragile egos of the people above you. Every boss, every investor, every mentor, every authority figure you will ever work for carries an ego far more fragile than your mind can possibly comprehend. They lay awake at night, consumed by a quiet, tormenting paranoia. They whisper to themselves, am I losing my touch? Is my power fading away? Is this sharp, hungry person sitting across from me secretly trying to take my throne? Sides, master! That is the first, most unbreakable law of power. If you execute a brilliant miracle on a project and demand all the public applause and credit for yourself, you do not win their affection. You trigger their ultimate, deepest fear. The exact second a powerful superior feels threatened by your shine, they will not compliment you. They will silently mark you as a target. They will never openly admit they are jealous of your talent, but in the dark, they will quietly build resentment, sabotage your progress, and orchestrate your complete destruction. If you are brilliant, hide your brilliance behind a thick shield of strategic humility. Let TM take the public glory. Let TM stand in the bright spotlight. Look them in the eye and say, I was simply executing your visionary leadership. Let them feel like an absolute god while you quietly, methodically consolidate the real, tangible power in the background. You must engrave this brutal psychological truth directly onto your soul. Every single human being walking this earth is fighting an invisible, daily war with their own deep insecurities and massive pride. If you foolishly bruise someone's vanity, if you make them feel small, foolish, or inferior in front of their peers, they will never ever forgive you. They will carry that hidden emotional wound for 10 whole years, patiently waiting in the dark shadows just to stab you in the back when you are most vulnerable. Stop recklessly triggering people's fragile egos. Learn to read their hidden wounds. Walk carefully around their psychological landmines and protect your own long-term path at all costs. And while you are navigating the complex minds of those around you, take a very close look at their hands. Never, under any circumstances, fall for the dangerous trap of the word free. There is no such thing as a free favor, a free lunch, or free professional help in this brutal life. When someone approaches you and offers their services for free, beware! It is a strategic Trojan horse. They are intentionally trying to create an unwritten emotional debt so they can extract 10 times more value, leverage, or control from you later down the road. Real, powerful leaders always pay their own way. Be generous with your financial resources. Pay people fairly, pay them on time, and pay them exceptionally well. Being tight and stingy with your money is not smart business. It is a pathetic, desperate broadcast of internal scarcity and deep fear. When you pay people well, you command instant respect, you secure unwavering loyalty, and you keep your hands completely clean of hidden obligations and toxic psychological debts. Look at how 99% of ordinary people spend their short lives on this earth. Look at your friends. Look at yourself in the mirror late at night. You waste 90% of your valuable mental bandwidth trapped entirely inside your own emotional head. You sit there crying. Do they really like me? Why did they say those words to me? Why am I not getting the respect I deserve? Why is life being so unfair to me? Break out of that pathetic mental prison immediately. A victim mindset is an absolute death sentence to your higher ambitions. The cold world does not care about your hurt feelings. If you want to rule your field, you must flip your lens entirely outward. Stop obsessing over your tiny, fleeting emotions and transform yourself into an elite, cold observer of human psychology. Read the room before you speak. Read the hidden, selfish motivations of the person sitting across the negotiation table. Train your mind to anticipate exactly where the world, the market, and human trends are going to be 5 years from today. while everyone else is sitting around crying over their past traumas. You must be laser focused on reading the present reality and capturing the future. This high level of strategic mastery is not a magical gift. It is not something you are born with. It is forged exclusively in the hot fires of a brutal, tedious, unglamorous grind. Look at your youth. Look at your 20s and your 30s. These precious years are not meant to be wasted on cheap dopamine, endless scrolling through brain-rot content, and meaningless weekend entertainment. These primary years are meant to be your high-stakes, intense apprenticeship. You must force your mind to endure the boredom. You must build the mental grit to push through intense frustration, master 2 or 3 hard, high-value skills deeply. Learn how to build systems. Learn how to communicate with authority. Learn how to negotiate high-stakes deals. Master the deep mechanics of human psychology. If you reach the age of 35 with nothing in your hands but foggy memories of wild party nights, the unforgiving reality of life will crush you without mercy. But if you spend those foundational years building an unshakable fortress of raw competence, no economic collapse, no industry shift, and no jealous rival can ever strip away your power. The world is not a peaceful, gentle playground. It is a ruthless, endless arena. Real power, lasting influence, and true respect are never handed out as acts of charity. They are systematically taken by those who actually understand the hidden rules of the game. You can choose to remain a naive, emotional pawn on the board, letting smarter people manipulate your feelings and predict your every single move. Or you can step back into the dark shadows, master your tongue, control your physical presence, adapt your mind like flowing water, and execute your ultimate, grand vision in absolute, total, terrifying silence. The choice is entirely yours.